We like to think we know a lot about the world we live on. After all, it seems like we've mapped every possible inch of its surface. We are constantly learning about various animals that, along with us, call it home, and we are constantly exploiting the various resources to improve our lives. However, below the surface of the waters there are still a lot of unanswered questions. These underwater mysteries, whether man-made or acts of nature, continue to baffle us and show us that we aren't always as smart as we think we are. Number 9. The Siberian Lake Monster. No discussions of underwater mysteries would be complete without including some sort of underwater sea monster. Move over Loch Ness Monster and Godzilla, the creatures of Lake Labinkar is here. Located in eastern Siberia, this body of water is said to be home of a creature nicknamed the Devil. Underwater scans have reportedly captured images of a giant jaw and skeleton belonging to one of the monsters, while the classic grainy long-distance shot of something in the lake is reportedly proof of this 33-foot Russian water creature. Number 8. The Yonaguni Complex. In the 1980s, divers discovered some strange structures under the water near the southernmost Ryukyu Islands of Japan. They found what appeared to be a temple with pillar, columns, and a star-shaped platform. The lines and carvings found around the area suggest the structure to be man-made. Experts say that it could have belonged to the civilization, who lived thousands of years ago only to vanish beneath the rising sea levels following the last ice age. Others are not so convinced and think the whole area is the result of natural formation over time. Number 7. Bimini Road. In the waters of Bahamas is a discovery which some people think suggests ancient civilizations were far more advanced than we think they were. Discovered in 1968, the Bimini Road is made up of a number of rectangular-shaped stones all lined up with one another. Some who have researched the site say it's man-made and perhaps a breakwater constructed to protect an ancient settlement. Others say it's simply an interesting natural phenomenon created over thousands of years by the forces of water. Number 6. The Lost Cuban City. In 2001, surveyors were working off the western tip of Cuba when their equipment produced readings that don't make any sense. Sonar equipment showed that there were large geometric and symmetrical shapes on the sea's bottom. A second trip to the site revealed large blocks of stone, some of which were stacked upon each other. Experts are reluctant to say the structures are man-made because it would mean they were built around 50,000 years ago, long before that type of architectural design was known to exist. That said, no definitive answers have come forward in this mystery. Number 5. The ruins of the Gulf of Khumbat. In 2001, ruins of what appeared to be an ancient city were discovered in the Gulf of Khumbat off the coast of India. Geometric structures and patterns initially suggested the city includes dwellings, a granary, a citadel, and its own drainage system. Stones, wood, pottery shards and bones from the location are said to provide further evidence of a civilization that predates all other known civilizations of the Indian subcontinent. Despite this, cities are skeptical because much of the evidence was collected in an improper way and all images of the city have been obtained using sonar. Number 4. The Baltic Sea Anomaly. In 2011, a mysterious object was discovered on the floor of the Baltic Sea between Sweden and Finland. 60 meters in diameter, the object didn't look natural and divers says it actually rests on a pillar of some type. A secret military experiment, an old battleship turret, a UFO? Everyone seems to have an idea about what this thing is, with a few even claiming it's the Millennium Falcon from the Star Wars. Experts think it is made up of stone, but the shape just doesn't seem natural at all. Number 3. The Galilee Stone Structure. In 2013, a report was published which revealed that in 2003, researchers had discovered a massive stone structure under the Sea of Galilee with a diameter of 230 feet and 32 feet high. The conical creation was composed of boulders which altogether weighed 60,000 tons. Experts believe the structure was built over 4,000 years ago. However, until archaeologists can excavate more of the area, the exact and purpose of this amazing underwater find will remain shrouded in mystery. Number 2. The McDonald Lake Rocks. When divers were working on a submarine project in McDonald Lake, Ontario in 2005 they came across something that seemed out of place. Under the weir they found a large rectangular stone propped up by smaller baseball-shaped stones underneath. In all, several stones were arranged in what appeared to be a deliberately built structure. Experts all agreed that the structure was man-made, which suggests that prehistoric populations roamed and lived in areas of Canada once thought to be devoid of any humans. Number 1. The underwater circles. You've likely heard of crop circles, but what about underwater circles? Off the coast of North Carolina, Florida and Belize, aerial and satellite images show circles which look like tiny bullseyes upon closer examination. They look suspiciously like the same circle found in the Middle East and Africa, a shape attributed to burial of memorial sites. Could the underwater rings be the same type of structures built by ancient civilizations when worldwide water levels were lower? Are they just a natural phenomenon that coincidentally looks similar? These questions remain to be answered.